guys, welcome back to my channel where I make videos about tech, unboxing, product reviews, events, and some fun stuff. And for this video, I will be sharing with you my journey from working in the medical field to working in IT. I know there's a lot of people out there who are trying to transition from their own field to the IT field, or those who are trying for a different career path. So if you are interested to know how I work from the medical field and transitioned into IT, please keep on watching, and without further ado, let's get started with the video. So for the beginning of this video, I will be sharing and talking about my experience working in the medical field and how I transitioned into IT, what I did in my job before, and how I got into IT. Okay, so let's go back in time and flash back 6 years ago when I just started working and moved to America. So long story short, I'm from the Philippines, and 6 years ago I moved to America, and I was having a hard time looking for an IT job despite me studying IT in the Philippines. It was very competitive in here when I came in here because I never really had experience working in IT. So the first job that I got is a medical secretary for a cardiologist. I trained for this. After working as a medical secretary for about a year, I found a job in recreation in a nursing facility and also work as a caregiver. So I had 2 jobs after that because I wasn't really earning that much at that time, and that's where I realized that I had to level up. I had to study more so I could get a better job with better pay and better benefits. So at that time I was working those 2 jobs. I worked from Monday to Sunday. I never had a day off for like about a year, and I was really struggling, just trying to save as much as I can. And that's also where I realized to get back into studying. So during that time I realized that I really have to do something if I really wanted to get a job in IT or in tech like I really dreamed of. I also didn't think that the medical field is for me because I really never had a formal education and training in the medical field. I just had certifications, and when you are not a nurse or anything like that, you're not gonna earn a lot in the medical field. So I have done my research and looked around to see if I can go back to school, what do I need to study, what I could afford, and all of that. I was looking into like associate's degree or a some degree. So I found out that there are technical courses in technical schools that I could take, which are short and doesn't really cost that much, and that you will be earning certificates after that. So I have done so many research on what I should study and train for, and the most common thing that everyone is saying online is that if you don't have any previous education or experience and you want to get into IT, the easiest way is to get certification in A+ or Google Tech Support. And training and studying for that only takes months, and it's very achievable if you really put your effort into it. So I tried it out and actually found a school that is offering courses and review for A+, and also offered networking. So I found Chicago ORT Technical Institute, and that's where I enrolled my computer technology certificate, which includes studying and review for A+, and also Cisco CCNA routing and switching. So I thought the course is really cool because it's only 10 months, you graduate after, and you would also get certificates after, and they would also teach you networking and hands-on stuff, especially with PC troubleshooting and also switching, network switching. And what I like about my school is that they are offering night classes for those who are working full-time in the morning. So I took night classes for 20 hours every week. So after I got off from work at 5 p.m. I would go to school at 6 p.m. until 10 o'clock p.m. to attend my classes. So I had that for 10 months. So I went to school like 4 times a week, and so that journey for me really wasn't easy. It's really hard, to be honest, because I was working 2 jobs that time, and I was also going to school at night 4 times a week. So studying is really hard and you have to be disciplined with it. So what I did is, because on the weekends I was working as a caregiver, and there's really a lot of downtime when you are working as a caregiver if you have one patient. So on that 12-hour shift, I would study when I'm not doing anything in between breaks. So that's where I really got all my studying. But I really didn't have a life for a year during that time because I have no days off. I really had no vacation. I really can't go out when I want to, maybe only at night, but it's still hard back then. So it was really tough. But if you're really dedicated and you really wanted to achieve something, I think that you can overcome any obstacles. And I believe that hard work pays off, because once you finished it and you have experience and knowledge, I think you can get to where you want to be next time. So despite having all of this really tight and hectic schedule and, you know, being mentally challenged with all of the studying and working at the same time, I still had fun at school because I was in a class where all of us were working, so we can relate to each other. I was the only girl in the class, by the way, at night, and I learned so much. I learned about computer hardware and software. I also learned about assembling and disassembling a computer, and that is very helpful if you are studying and reviewing your A+ certification, because hardware is a big component to it, and it also gives you hands-on experience as well.
It's working. So I need to disassemble this again.
Put it over there. I'm on page now.
And I loved my networking classes. I really learned a lot about basic networking. We also did hands-on switching. We did port configuration, VLANs, port security. So it was really fun. And when I was in school, I also passed my A+ certification. Also, during my school days, we also had externship. That is very similar to going on an internship, but externship is, I think, not paid and by volunteer basis. So we have to do a certain amount of hours of externship for our school in order to complete our course. So I was looking online where I could do my externship, and I found Free Geek Chicago. So Free Geek is an organization where they reuse and recycle a lot of different kinds of computers and devices, and they also train people on how to disassemble, take computers apart and assemble them to build a new PC or computer unit. So this is a very fun experience for me. I learned a lot in this volunteer experience as well, and I work with different people. So that's also another tip if you are trying to get into an IT job or tech job and you don't have any experience yet, but you are studying, you are working on a certification or a course. You might want to look for a volunteer experience. There's actually a lot online, like Free Geek. There's like organizations or like computer shops where you can shadow someone. So in most technical courses, they require a case study or a big project at the end on the finals before you complete the actual course. My group came up with the easiest way to subnet, and we actually made a YouTube video about it, explaining the easiest way to subnet. That is very understandable and it only takes 3 steps. And that is actually my very first YouTube video, and that opened the doors for me to start my YouTube channel.
100.32/27 network. And we have 1 and 2 hosts here. We can use .34 and .35 for these hosts.
At ORT Chicago. And Ariana, where can they find ORT Chicago? Is there a website?
Yes, they can actually visit us at www.ortchicagotech.edu.
So, we have now taught you how to subnet. we think is a much easier way than the traditional way.
That experience is actually very nice. I love doing that project because we were just recording. We never thought that it would blow up like that, that it would have a lot of responses, comments, and a lot of views for my very first video and my only video on my YouTube channel that time. So that is also something that you can do when you are studying or reviewing or in school. Actually, it's really very good to have a final project because it encapsulates everything that you have learned on those months that you were studying, and you can also put that on your resume or a portfolio like a GitHub or something that would show your employer that you work on this and that you have knowledge and experience doing all of that skills. So after almost a year of studying and training, we finally graduated.
And then, if everyone's ready, you're all going to move that tassel to the left.
From our class, and most of us passed our A+, and we have been training and reviewing for our CCNA. And also, after I graduated, I have been working on my LinkedIn profile. I have been updating it with all the certification that I passed, the classes that I took, and I have been just networking with a lot of people. And I actually posted our subnetting video from YouTube on my LinkedIn profile, and that's where a family friend reached out to me and asked me if I am willing to try a new entry-level job in IT. So that video opened doors for me. Because of that video, I was able to show people that I'm interested in looking for a new job, and I have made this project with my classmates, and that I am knowledgeable in this aspect. I'm knowledgeable in networking. It's also very, very important to market yourself, so be active on LinkedIn and post your projects and the things that you are working on. Also, probably do that on Facebook as well. You'll never know, a friend of a friend might know something and would like give you an opportunity as well. So just keep on marketing yourself, especially if you have no experience yet. So my first job in IT that I got is an entry-level IT associate, I think, or IT technician, working for Marriott. So that's where I learned a lot of things, a lot of business, corporate IT, how to deal with users, customer service. That's also very important when you are working in IT because we really directly support the users. I also learned a lot about networking, especially port configuration, a lot of switching that I get to apply from the courses that I took and the knowledge that I have learned. So I was very happy about that. But unfortunately, after working for the company for like a year and a half, I felt like I'm not learning as much as I wanted to when I was just starting. I was basically doing the same things for a year and a half, and I'm not really learning new tech anymore because I have learned it like a year ago. So I started looking for another job, and I got a job in tech in a financial software company where it is very challenging because the users that we supported are engineers, software engineers, so their issues are more complex than ordinary users. We were also exposed to much more complex skills and topics like firewall, Linux. So when I got the job in my current company now, I was really happy because that means that I'm able to learn a lot, especially with new technology. So that's very important when you are looking for an IT job as well. Like, you have to keep on growing and learning and evolving. You can't do the same things for 5 years now because that's not what tech is about, and you're just gonna be left behind. So I know this video has been very long, but I hope that you learned something from it and you enjoyed watching this video. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave it down in the comment section below. I would do my best to answer those questions. And once again, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel, and I hope to see you guys in my next videos.